Camp Hood, stretching over 160,000 acres of Texas terrain, ideal for simulated combat, the United States Army has established one of the most modern training centers ever conceived. This is the home of the tank destroyers, the Army's answer to the vaunted invincibility of the German Panzers. As far as the eye can see, row after row of spotless barracks, recreation halls, churches, and classrooms face upon streets which have been laid out with all the care that goes into the planning of any model city. With a population of close to 80,000 officers and men, no simple problems are those faced by the service command to maintain the camp and keep it provisioned. Theirs is a 24-hour-a-day, 7-day-a-week job. Food is of prime importance, with meat requirements alone surpassing the 1.5 pound per month figure. Add to this almost 200,000 dozens of eggs per month, more than 100,000 pounds of butter, and more pounds of fats and cheeses, countless tons of fresh fruits and vegetables, and the seemingly endless requirements of ordnance, and it is easy to see why more than 1,000 cars and the unfaltering cooperation of the railroads are necessary to keep the camp supplied. This is Camp Hood's own bakery. No, these men were never chefs at the Waldorf, but it seems that when you're in the Army, if they say you're a baker, well, so you're a baker. Equipped with the most modern automatic ovens, this one bakery alone mixes, molds, and bakes more than 25,000 loaves of bread every day. But by this time, many of you are probably wondering what a tank destroyer is. Is it a man? Is it a gun? Is it a machine? Well, as a matter of fact, it's a combination of all three. Let's hop aboard an incoming recruit train and meet Bill Mitchell, just another American youth on his way to become another important cog in the greatest army on earth. Uh-oh, there she blows. And that means just one thing to any bewildered inductee. He's really in the Army now. What's the trouble, Bill? Tired? Maybe you'd like to take a rest. You would? Well, just get yourself into one of those plush-lined taxi cabs, and the driver will be only too happy to drop you at your hotel. "20 miles out from the main camp is North Camp Hood. Here, over a period of 17 weeks, the newly arrived recruit receives his basic training. He spends hours on the range. He studies hard, absorbing everything there is to learn, from kit to communications, slowly but surely transforming from a raw recruit into a well-disciplined, healthy, and eager soldier. Of course, in addition to the regular curriculum, the powers that be might toss in a little yard duty, and even allow a few of the more favored men to fool around in the kitchen. But the end of the day has its measure of satisfaction in letters from home and a young lady friend, a couple of fast innings of baseball, and it doesn't require a sleeping potion to be quickly off to the land of Nod. The 17 weeks of basic are drawing to a close. Just look at those former office clerks and service station attendants snap through their paces now. And here they come into the main camp to start the months of advanced training, which will mold them into a smooth working tactical unit. Get a load of Bill Mitchell, will you? Or I should say, Private First Class William Mitchell. What's that? Yep, you guessed it, Bill. That's a tank destroyer. Combining mobility and firepower, it's the most potent mass of tank trouble ever developed. Take it from me, those babies really pack a wallop. Don't look so downhearted, Bill. You'll be gun commander of one of those destroyers yet. After weeks of practice with small arms and machine guns come the 3-inchers. You'll notice that although these guns are handled in the same manner as when firing service ammunition, no 3-inch shells are being expended. Instead, 50 caliber machine guns attached to the large gun barrels afford economical preliminary training, at the same time saving much needed ammunition for the more important job ahead. Watch those tracer bullets plaster those buttoned up tanks. That, mister, is plenty sharp gunnery. Just imagine the shape those tanks would be in if those were armor-piercing shells. The gun crews are progressing. They're now ready for the 3-inch stuff. The motor-driven target measures only 3 by 5 feet, but for scoring purposes, this target must be hit. Oh, no, that one was a little short. Try it again. Track that target, Mitchell, and make this one count. That's it, right smack on the old schnozola. Yes, sir, it looks like Bill is doing all right. He's now gunner of a tank destroyer crew. This is the baby he's been waiting for. It's precision gunnery, requiring split-second timing and flawless teamwork. All set? Get moving. There goes the target. She's moving down the range. Hold her in your sight. Fire! And all accomplished within the short space of 30 seconds. That's teamwork plus. Hey, what are you grinning for? I suppose you think you made a hit. Well, you did. Right through dead center. But just about this time, when a man thinks he's all set to go overseas and take a crack at those German panzers, he's in for a little surprise. It seems there's an item he almost overlooked, the battle conditioning course. Bivouacking for a period of a week, each battalion, including officers as well as men, goes through a most comprehensive toughening course to accustom them to the rigors of actual combat. No sissies here. It's crawl under the barbed wire and up the net and down the ropes to keep moving on the double. Then it's the water hazard. If you can't swim, go through anyway. Teammates will see you safely across, and you go through without getting your rifle wet. When do they change into dry clothes? They don't. Wet or dry, the men live in the same clothes for an entire week. When they go into combat, they're not going to have time to change clothes. So it's keep going until the last man is over the top of this choice little mountain. And I might add, the men cover this obstacle course not once, but 3 times every day for a solid week. One of the more important courses of instruction is in the gentle art of unarmed fighting. Today, when the American soldier goes into battle, he knows how to handle himself under any conditions. Even without weapons, he will best the enemy and survive. Battle firing is another new wrinkle developed in this war. This method of firing small arms at close range saves precious seconds. This is the Army's famed bazooka. Much of its early testing was done at tank destroyer centers. It is an anti-tank weapon which has seen successful overseas service. By the time chow rolls around, you're ready to eat. As a matter of fact, you're ready to eat almost anything. What the food servicemen receive is far from that. It's fresh vegetables and choice meat, the best food the Army can buy. And it's well cooked, even at a bivouac mess. Take your time, men. Relax. You haven't seen anything yet. This is known as the Nazi village. Although not a normal function of the tank destroyers, nevertheless, they must learn the art of house-to-house fighting, how to clean out the enemy without exposing themselves, to be on the alert for booby traps and hidden mines, to work as teams with crossfire and supporting fire. Stay back. Keep off that street. Take it slow. Be sure you're covered before you move. Go through that building or over it. Blast a hole in the wall if you have to, but stay off that street. Slowly, cautiously, house by house, roof by roof, the men advance, affording mutual support for every move. Then it's take the Gestapo building. Finally comes the infiltration course, especially designed to accustom men to the shock and confusion of battle. At a signal, they will crawl forward, making the most of cover under barbed wire, with dynamite exploded to simulate mortar and artillery fire, while machine guns fire close overhead. There's the signal. Go! Hug that ground, soldier, and keep those heads down. Those bullets mean business. Maybe you don't think those are real bullets. Well, keep your eyes on that tree. Now, are you convinced? By subjecting our men to battle conditions during training, first fright is over and done with, thus enabling them to think clearly when going into actual combat. And clear thinking in combat means fewer casualties. What do you say, Bill? Some fun, eh? Yeah, I'll bet. That gives you a general idea of the extent to which the Army is conditioning individual soldiers. Now let's look at a tactical problem where every facet of tank destroyer training is coordinated as a unit. From all outward appearances, this is nothing more than a peaceful valley. But dispersed and heavily camouflaged among the trees on the left is a platoon of destroyers in a position of readiness, awaiting the thrust of a tank attack. Reconnaissance is well out, cautiously seeking information of enemy armor. And there they come, 3 advanced Nazi tanks moving along the valley corridor. The recon group has spotted them. Warning is flashed to the destroyer commanders by radio as the reconnaissance unit moves to maintain contact. Over reconnoitered routes, a section of destroyers now moves to occupy pre-selected positions from which to deliver surprise fire. Watch the speed and accuracy with which they get in the first hit. Quickly move to alternate positions before enemy artillery and infantry can bring effective fire to bear upon them. And that's just a sample of the mobility and striking power of tank destroyers. They're plenty deadly, and the Nazis know it. So the arduous training period draws to a close, and the battalion passes in review. Then comes the order to move out, to get men and equipment loaded. Not a motion is wasted as heavy machines roll aboard and into position for the journey ahead. Then wheels and tracks are blocked and secured. Complete kitchen equipment goes along. Personal belongings are loaded into freight cars. Men file aboard comfortable Pullman cars. With speed and precision, the train is loaded and ready to go, loaded with men and machines who mean business. They're going to maneuvers to gain practical experience in teamwork with other arms of the service, and then it will be overseas. presents a typical example of the painstaking thoroughness of the United States Army in training its men, in equipping its forces. For these men are being given the best food, the best housing, the best weapons, the best training, the best leadership. Yes, the best of everything. And when they meet the enemy, they'll best him, too. For men who are prepared to fight and who have something to fight for are invincible. With such as these, the future and the future beyond will rest secure.